I started doing workshops and doing groups where I'm getting up in front of others, like outside of the gym setting, and talking about resilience and perseverance and goal setting and vision and taking action. You should know what 1 hour of your time is worth. You should know the value that you bring to the marketplace. You know what your passion is. Starts with clarity of vision. If you don't have the clarity of vision, whatever next thing you get, you're not going to see it through because you don't have the clarity of vision. So the point of my pain was being told you will never run or jump again. And all that stuff, I was like, you know what? Like, I want to be able to take this even bigger. If you know why you do what you do, you have to know how to charge for what you do. That's how you're going to change your life, and that's how you're going to leave a legacy for your children and your family. You got to know your worth. Something happened here. I lost my... Tina, I'm going to bring you in.
Okay.
All right. I can hear you. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, something. I think the Bluetooth was connected to my phone as well too. So, anyways, this is Rob, and I'm back with episode number 376 of Shut Up and Grind, where we're all about overcoming obstacles, defying the odds, and inspiring you to clear whatever's blocking the path to whatever success you want in this lifetime. So, before I bring my guest on, we're gonna talk about manifestation, right? And people want to think that this word is overused or overplayed. It's real. Okay, no matter how you look at it, it's real. You focus on the darkness, all you're gonna see is darkness. If you focus on light, you're gonna see light. Okay, so on January 14th, I'm having a full knee replacement on my right knee, and I'm already planning my race schedule for the summertime. And people are like, "What if you're not ready?" I'm like, what if I am? Right? What if I am? You know, like, isn't that going to be too much? Did the doctors say you can do that? Like, I don't need anybody to tell me what I can and can't do. It's like, I'm grown. All right. I am in charge of my destiny. I am. So my thoughts are going to translate over to my body's healing. So by me going into it with that positive mindset, now, mind you, this is surgery number 8. So I've been around the block. Right. And I had a total reconstruction on my left knee, and we came back from that in record time as well. So what you focus on, right? Focus on what you want to achieve and not what you can't do. Because I plan on going to the gym immediately. Just because my knee is hurt doesn't mean I can't work my arms, doesn't mean I can't do ab work, doesn't mean I can't do other forms of cardio. Right. So focus on your end result, and then you'll start to see opportunities popping up everywhere. Alrighty, it's time to get to my guest. And who we talking to today? We're going to be talking about from rock bottom to reinvention. And I'm sure there'll be a bunch of stuff in between. But this is Tina Coleman. We're going to be talking from battling addiction to losing 90 pounds, from surviving trauma to thriving abroad on passive income. I don't think an hour is going to be long enough for this. Tina has rebuilt her life on her own terms. So, Tina Coleman, welcome to the show. How we doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
See, and you're sitting in a coffee shop in Mexico right now, and you're taking the time to come talk to me. So, thank you.
You're absolutely welcome.
All right. So, where were you born and raised?
I am originally from Des Moines, Iowa.
Iowa, okay.
I know, the heartland of the U.S. So, yeah. And I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. I did. And so I think that really shaped a lot of who I am, because I went to church a lot and I was an overachiever in school.
Okay. All right. So, you want to describe that dysfunction a little?
Well, divorced parents, and then my grandmother
Okay.
moved in to help us, and money was always stressful. And so there was always a lot of fighting. My mother was not great at dating. So the people she dated weren't really what I would call safe people. There was a lot of abuse and trauma and things like that happening in the home. And my father was an alcoholic. And so then she tended to date alcoholics. So, yeah, there was a lot of yelling and fighting and stress. And so I spent a lot of time at my neighbor's house who was an Avon lady, and I learned how to work at a very young age. And I was like cleaning her floors, washing her dishes, running errands with her when I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Kimberly, I see you. Hi, Kim. Sorry. Yeah. So before we dive in, right, I just wanted to get that quick little backstory. But first,
Hmm.
how would you describe yourself?
I'm a very resourceful individual, and because I think I've been through so much in my life that's really shaped who I am. And I believe that we're all souls when we come, to the physical plane, we incarnate, we're born, however you want to say it. And so we come for specific reasons. And there are times I'm like, why did I choose this? But all the things that I've been through my life have shaped who I am and made me a very strong, independent, resourceful, albeit stubborn kind of person. Sometimes there are definitely times I should quit and I just don't. I just kind of keep going because I figure eventually I'm going to get there.
See, because stubborn isn't always a bad thing. Like sometimes you have to be. Like when I was getting my fitness business off the ground, right? No degree, no marketing experience, no branding experience. But I knew I was really good at getting through to people. And I probably tried so many different things until I found my style now. Like that's the problem with a lot of people is they hit that first roadblock, like, oh, I guess it's not meant to be.
I
It's
know.
like you got to find a different way. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not how many times you fail, it's how many times you get back up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I always say there is no failure. Either you do it or you don't.
Ex-
Like if you don't, right? If you don't do it, then you don't do it. Like I took a shot at getting licensed for insurance, and it
okay.
sucked.
Uh-huh.
It absolutely sucked. Right? It wasn't for me. Right? It wasn't for me. So I moved in a different direction. Right? I didn't fail at it. It just didn't work for me. It's like, and people have to stop beating themselves up when life throws you curveballs because it's going to
Yeah.
happen. Like life is never ever linear. So
Ex-
coming off of that dysfunctional family, what was your outlook for the future while you were going through that?
I went to church a lot, so and I'm very grateful for that because it was a Southern Baptist and Pentecostal, so there was a lot of
Oh
hellfire
yeah.
and brimstone thrown into that, and the fear that they have around everything that took a long time to get out of my system. But having that strong connection with God, the higher power, my inner self, that made a huge difference in my life. So I learned how to pray at a very early age and how to have that
Hmm.
connection at a very early age. And that I think is a difference that got me through my childhood and created who I am because I had cousins that had similar abuse issues that were going on and they turned to drugs, which I've had my share of
Mm.
that too, but it completely destroyed them. Completely destroyed them. So I feel very grateful that I had that, that base in my life, something to turn to. And there have been times I've turned away from that in my life, and the times when I really connect with my higher self and with God, the universe, that's when things get really good, because it's life is hard sometimes and it's going to throw you curveballs and things happen that you could never have imagined.
Yeah, it's true. It's like one thing I always say is like when you're in the darkness, like you have to turn on the light. Like you can't just sit there and stay in the darkness because then you can't see the opportunities that are in front of you. And I've been to that place where it's the woe is me and it's this person's fault and all this other stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
finally one day, it sounds cliche-ish, but like I'm brushing my teeth and then I lock eyes with myself in the mirror. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like this is not you. Like me at my core, I'm a competitor. So I'm like, we're not
Okay.
gonna stay in this place. Like we're gonna take the steps to get out of this place. So what jump started your healing journey? Well, I know you just said about God, but I mean, just
Right.
like what were the steps? What were the steps that you took?
Well, I was a kid when that was going on, so it was going to church a lot and praying a lot. It really helped me. Unfortunately, I got into a really abusive relationship very early. So, and I was, you think, oh, if you love somebody, that's all you need, and that is not
Yeah.
all you need, especially when they
Mm.
are a drug addict and they're just bringing you down and they're abusive. It's not all you need. And so I stayed in that relationship for 13 years because I'm like, oh, if you love somebody, it's going to work out. Because I was raised on Disney, you know, and it's like, oh, all you need
Mm.
is love. Yeah, no, you need a lot more than that. And then I became a spiritual teacher, and that really helped. Ironically, right after I moved from Des Moines, Iowa to Columbia, Missouri to become a spiritual teacher, I actually was hit by a semi.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I was hit by a semi. It totaled my car. I was
okay.
extremely fortunate. I just had neck and back issues from it. No broken bones, thankfully. Like when I went to identify my car, they're like, "Oh my God, you're walking and you're alive." Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
so
bad.
yeah, let's unpack that. I don't want to just gloss over that. So how did this come to happen?
Well, I was in Columbia, Missouri, and I was driving to a class in Kansas City, Missouri. It was a spiritual group, and I was rear-ended on the semi by on the interstate by a semi that was speeding, and it was drizzly. And I had the thought, I did have the thought like he's going to hit me, and I was just trying to stay
Mm.
ahead of him because there was really nowhere to get over, and he just plowed into me, and I hit
Wow.
three cars, landed in the ditch, and only my upper shoulder strap of the seatbelt was working. The lower one was not.
Oh no.
And I was extremely fortunate. Like I said, no broken bones, but even the witnesses, and this happened back in 2000. And even the witnesses were like, we knew he was going to hit somebody. He was just being very reckless.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very, very difficult. But through that, and I also was in the spiritual groups, like, okay, you can heal yourself. We were meditating, doing a lot of inner spiritual work. And it's like, I knew I could heal myself. However, what I also realized is that I needed help because I did have a whiplash from that, concussion, and it was really brutal. And so I actually met some really great chiropractors through that experience. I was also introduced to acupuncture and massage as forms of treatment. And that
Mm.
really changed my life. Because I grew up with, like, oh, walk on my back, rub my shoulders, but never thought about becoming a massage therapist. And so through that experience, I actually ended up becoming a massage therapist a little bit later.
Okay. I want
So
to
yeah.
backtrack. Yeah, I want to
Mhm.
backtrack for a quick second. So you said you got into an abusive relationship early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that was stemming from what you were exposed to growing up? Like, was that normalized somehow, or did it just?
Oh, it was totally normalized. Yes. Um,
Okay.
yeah. And it's like getting into a relationship because you feel sorry for somebody is not a good reason. And I was 14 and they were
Hmm.
21. So they
Okay.
completely took advantage of me, manipulated me. It was not a good situation. And I thought I could help them because when you go through a lot of abuse as a child, you do tend to have this I want to be able to save other people, and I definitely had that, and it's like, I wish I would have made different choices then. However, yeah, it was just not a good situation. And so yeah, no, it
Okay.
was it was pretty bad, and I stayed in it for way too long. I thought about leaving. I tried to leave, and I was threatened that if I ever left, they would hunt me down and shoot me.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Boy,
yeah,
oh boy.
yeah. They
So you
they
said
also
he
got
was 21. He said he was 21. You were 14.
she was.
Oh, she was okay. All
Yeah, it
right.
was a
How
same
how'd
sex
you?
relationship.
Oh, okay. All right. How'd you get away with that age gap?
It was very normalized in my family.
Hmm.
My mother was not a great mother. She was always working. She became a mother very young. She was 14 when she got pregnant with my sister. She wanted
Okay.
to have an abortion. My grandmother wouldn't let her. It was very old school at the time. And so my mother was very young. And I can remember my sister being in eighth grade and dating someone that was in his 20s.
Wow.
So yeah, we only had three rules growing up. It was come home before dark. If you're gonna smoke, let us know. We'll get you cigarettes. If you're gonna have sex, let us know. We'll put you on birth control. That was it. There were no other rules in my house. There
Wow.
was no parental supervision. It was kind of fend for yourself, raise yourself, do your own thing. We really don't care. And so each of me and my two siblings, we all had very different experiences growing up because I had a lot of abuse growing up, and they did not. So they grew up with the attitude that this is a great way to live. Oh, let's go and just be wild and crazy and, destructive. And then I grew up, in the church and trying to save myself.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Interesting. See, this is why I like unscripted talk. Because like you never know. Because I didn't expect any of that to surface. None
I
of
wasn't
that.
sure. I was like, do I say this or not? I do touch on some of this in my book. I don't go into depth on it in my book, but I do touch on this. So yeah, I mean, if you want to label me, you can call me a lesbian, bi, queer, like whatever. Because I really don't know. Like, I'm 53 and I'm like, oh, maybe I want this, maybe I want that. Just like going to an ice cream shop. Maybe I want vanilla, maybe I want strawberry.
To an ice cream shop. That's a solid
Right?
comparison.
I know, right?
All right. So speaking of your book, what made you write it in the first place? Like, what was the motivation behind writing it?
I was terrified of turning 50. I was absolutely terrified of turning 50. And it hit me when I was about 46, 47, the realization that I was going to turn 50. And I was like, oh my goodness, what happens when you turn 50? Because in America, it's like, oh, you're over the hill. You're not sexy anymore. You're an old hag, especially if you have gray hair. That's really not sexy. And so it's really interesting because I was terrified of turning 50. I didn't know what to do, but I was like, I feel pretty good. I'm pretty healthy. And I was like, I want to be empowered and inspired by it. And I got the idea for the book, like not only to empower and inspire myself, I want to empower and inspire other women. And the name of the book came to me and I was like, oh my goodness, can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? Like, I don't know. So there has been writing the book and going through everything I've gone through with this book. It has been a birthing of love. Trust me, because there are several times throughout this process I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can do this. And I'm a firm believer that when an idea comes to you, either you need to carry it through or you need to release it and move on to something else, because somebody else will do that. So yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. I will say that because I don't really consider myself a writer, an author. I did publish a short book before this in 2021, but this is completely different. And the name of the book is very bold, and I really want to help women to step into their greatness and really be like 50 is not the end, it's the beginning. Because I had people around me being like, oh, 50, oh gosh, I'm turning 50, oh, and this hurts and that hurts, and oh my goodness, and oh, and I'm just like, really? Like, that is not how I want my life to be. That is not who I am. That's not what I believe in. And so I was like, I want my 50s to be amazing. I want to have fun. I want to do things that scare me. I want to do things I haven't done before. And I like, this is the beginning of your life. Like, that's how I feel. We've already made a lot of mistakes. We've already had the bad relationships, the marriages, children, changes in careers, financial problems. It doesn't mean that those won't happen again, but you've learned a lot from those and you can move forward in a different way.
Absolutely. Like I'm 51, so I'm right there with you. Oh no, where'd she go?
Oh, there
Come
you are.
back,
Okay.
come back. All right, I can't see you though.
Okay. The audio is really weird.
Oh, did your phone ring or something?
You sound like Daffy Duck.
Sound like Daffy Duck. What the heck happened?
Daffy Duck on helium, actually.
Let me see. Well, I can't see you, and I don't know what's going on with the audio. On
It's
my
okay.
end,
I can
it's
see
look.
you. Oh my goodness.
You can see me, but I can't see you. That's wild.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think we broke the internet.
We must have. This is weird. So I don't know. Wait, I have a what is this? No data detected while recording locally for at least one of Tina Coleman's feeds. It says ask the user to refresh the page.
Okay, great. Because it's hilarious listening to you. I will say that. Oh my god.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Because if I stop it on my end, it's gonna stop the whole stream.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see if I can. do this. See, this is the downside of live streaming. Is that when stuff happens, you just have to deal with it. So, oh boy. Let me see. So Spartan Shell on Instagram. Can you hear us? Or can you hear me?
I can't, but it
If you
is
can answer.
hilarious. It's like Donald Duck on helium. Like it is not your voice. It
Uh,
is so hilarious.
that is crazy.
It is. It really is. Like, oh my gosh. I'm like, we broke the internet. After what I've shared, the internet's like, nope, sorry, that's all we can handle. We can't do this. We can't handle anymore.
Oh, all right. Well, on Spartan Shell just said he or she's over on Instagram because I can't see the photo. They said that they can hear me normally, but they can't see you.
Oh, that is so interesting. That is
Yeah,
so
so
interesting.
I'm not sure. I mean, see if you can go out and come back in, and
Okay.
let's see if that works.
Okay. Let me try that. Okay. That is so interesting. Let me see how I do this. Okay.
Okay, that's hysterical. All right, and so while she's doing that, I want to talk about a couple upcoming panels that I have coming. So this is one we did last year, but the panels go where I take one topic and I invite up to 6 people to come back. Now, people that I've already interviewed, so I know what they can all speak about. Because there's no one right way to do things. So we take this one topic and we get up to 7 different points of view. So I don't have a firm date for the next one as of yet, but these panels are always pretty amazing. And I believe she is back now.
Okay. Yes, and you sound normal. Oh, thank goodness.
Right.
I was just
All right. So for those of you watching live, sorry about that. My apologies. But let's get back on track. So I was saying, so is there any one of the events that you have gone through that really was the catalyst for you writing the book?
um honestly, it was definitely like being terrified of turning 50, but I also lost my stepfather and mother right before I turned 40, about 6 months apart, both totally unexpected, and it
Mhm.
happened like that. It's just very
Wow.
quick, both aneurysms. And so
Oh
that
no.
really, yeah, and that led to my downward spiral actually. And that actually really made me realize how precious life is, how you have to do things that scare you and that you need to live the life that you want to live rather than being afraid or not going for it. And it's like when the idea for this book came to me, I think it was divinely inspired because I did not sit around being like, oh, I really want to write a book about turning 50. No, I was terrified. I was terrified of turning 50. And I was like, who am I to write this? Like, I've never been 50 before. Who am I to write this book? Who am I to talk about these things? Like, you only turn 50 once. And I felt so incredibly unqualified to write the book. And I was just like, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do it. It's coming to me. And when I would sit down to write or the ideas would come to me, I would write them out. And I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. And we're going to see what happens. I mean, if I can inspire one woman and let her know that even with all the stuff that I've been through in my life, all the trauma, the heartbreak, everything that I've been through, if I can inspire one woman to be like, hey, you know what? I'm in an abusive relationship and she got out of it, or I'm having financial issues and hers turned around, you know, if I can inspire women to like go out there and live their lives, and to be inspired by turning 50 and know that this is not the end, this is just the beginning. It's the second chapter, it's the second half, and to be like 50 is it's really the new beginning. So that's really why I kept going and wanted to write the book and get it out there so that I can inspire and help other women because life is hard. And, turning 50 we've made it a big deal. In other countries, it's more of a progression and spirituality. And, it's kind of revered. In America, it's not, and especially when you have gray hair, like, I went gray early and I didn't even realize it because it was blonde and then I went hot pink. And when it faded out, it was
Hmm.
all gray. And I'm like, I'm kind of digging this actually. And we're told if you have gray hair, you're not sexy. And I'm like, that is so not true. It's not,
I
doesn't
agree.
matter the color of your hair. It's about who you are and the energy that you have, you know?
Bingo. Bingo. See,
Mm-hmm.
so That's from because I'm here in the U.S. I'm in Rhode Island, and
Oh, nice.
because society tries to stuff you in a box. They're saying by this age you should have X, Y, Z. By this age you should stop doing X, Y, Z. It's like
Exactly.
if I'm at a playground, I'll get on the swing set. I love swinging.
I know. Me
Absolutely love it. You
too.
know,
Me
then
too.
people say, "Oh, you're too old to be doing that stuff." Like I love obstacle racing. I love hiking, zip lining, parasailing. Like I love all of those thrills. I love amusement parks. Like I would vacation at Disney every single year if I could. It's like
Nice.
big kid habits. Like I want to do the things that I enjoy. You know, it's like just because I'm over
Exactly.
50 doesn't mean that this is all you can do now. It's like I want to do
No.
all the things I've always done growing up. At the end of the day, I'm a more wise version of me, but at my core, I'm the same person today that I was at 15. You know, the things I like then, I like now. It's like how come I cannot like I liked roller coasters at 15, I like roller coasters now. Right? So
Right?
to your point, to your point, just be you. You know, just be
Exactly.
you. Do the things that make you smile. Do the things that light your soul on fire.
And do the things that you haven't done yet. You know, as women, we tend to put
Yes.
our desires on the back burner because we're taking care of everybody else throughout our life. And it's like
Yeah.
really reconnect with those desires, you know, that you've had and be like, hey, I still want to do this and I can do this. Like, I had not been on a plane until I was 30. I did not have my first international trip till I was 45. And I had my last car accident a week before that. I was rear-ended by an 89-year-old lady at a stoplight, and
Wow.
I wasn't sure I could go. And I booked everything non-refundable. I was doing it on a bootstrap, like, you
Mm.
know, but I was like, I really want to do this. And I'm really glad that I did, even though I had a triple whiplash, I had a concussion, I had building discs in my neck. Like, I should not have been
Jeez.
traveling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It took my chiropractor a while to figure out what was wrong with me and other doctors. And they were borderline negligent, honestly. But I saw it because I was a massage therapist for 20 years. Like I knew that I needed to take care of myself, and I was like, I'm gonna go because I felt like okay, I've kind of passed like some of the hurdle of that, and I want to go. And so I did, and I sought treatment abroad. You know, I knew to seek out chiropractors and physical therapists and massage therapy and take care of myself while I was traveling. But it's completely different if you're really engaged in what you're doing and doing something that you're very passionate about and you love and you're in pain rather than being in bed and focusing just on that pain. You know, so being able to be like in Barcelona and be in New York and be in Rome and Italy and, you know, be traveling and seeing all this for the first time, it was so engaging. Like, I think it really helped my mindset a lot. It helped me to not really dwell on the pain so much, you know, and it was just amazing. And then when I was be having a bad day, I could think about Rome at night because Rome at night is magical. It's amazing. Cinque Terre in Italy is absolutely incredible. You know, so I was able to draw on those experiences when I was back home and things weren't going so well, and I was fighting, you know, with the insurance companies and the doctors and all this. Like, it was brutal. Like, it really was. But I had those memories, and those kept me going, and it makes a difference.
Absolutely. See, I always say people just need an outlet, right? It just depends on what outlet works for you. Like just because we're both in the motivating and inspiration space doesn't mean life doesn't happen to us. Like life happens to us. It's like I literally lost everything just almost 3 years ago. Right,
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, I paused the podcast. I had to rebuild myself. But you said the key words about not dwelling on it. That's where a lot of people stay in that stress bubble is because they're so focused on the what happened instead of taking the steps to dig out from it. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. And honestly, being in the rebuilding phase kind of sucks because I'm actually kind of going through that at this moment. I haven't really
Yep.
shared that, but I am. And you kind of have to keep going, and you have to have faith. And one of the things I remind myself is that God has not brought me this far to watch me fail.
Yeah.
You know, because earlier this year, uh, my dog was sick with cancer. I was trying to get the
Oh,
book done. I had a publisher. My publisher terminated my contract illegally.
Oh
My
no.
dog died. I lost my apartment. Everything just fell apart.
Wow.
So yeah, so I put everything in storage and went to Colombia. And I was in I was like, I was just, I did. I was just like, you know what? And it was one of those moments because I was kind of like, what do I do now? Because I was freaking out. I grieved my dog for a while. I absolutely, she was with me for 14 years. So, and she was
Uh,
wonderful. And so I was just like, the weekend, I basically had a day to decide what I wanted to do. And I was like, I guess I'll just put everything in storage. And then I'm like, what do I do? And I was like, Colombia. I'm like, I'm going to Colombia. Yeah. And I was there for 6 months, met some amazing people. Like, I think Medellin is now like my second home, and yeah, it was really hard. And honestly, things are hard right now. I have had to self-publish my book. I even had to come up with the cover of my book because the person I hired to
hmm.
do the book cover did not come through. So so
Wow.
it's like having to learn all these things and all these things that involve technology, being in my 50s and I'm not great at technology. And I'm like, everything I've been learning this year has been new. And it has been difficult at times, but I'm like, I am so freaking determined that this is going to work, that you just keep going. It's like, and there's not a finish line. When you run your races, there's a finish line, when you're done. But we
Yes.
just keep evolving and growing and
Oh no, I lost you again.
hello.
Hola, hola.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, same thing again.
The voice is back.
Yeah, so you probably have to do it what you did last time, bump out and come back
Okay.
in. And in the meantime, we'll talk about Manic Training, the sponsor of this video. This is where I do my training, my fitness classes. I'm actually at home now, but sometimes I'll stream from the gym because with the background you can't tell anyway. But we do group fitness, we do personal training, we train athletes as well. So manictrainingri.com for the locals. If you're looking for a new place to train, looking to switch things up. We also have golf simulators and we do specific training programs for golfers. So that's manictrainingri.com. And Tina's back.
I'm like, how is this happening? Mercury retrograde ended yesterday. Like, what is going
I have no idea. No
on?
idea.
Oh my
All right.
goodness.
All right, so let's get back to the book. And
Okay.
great job with the name because it caught my attention. And I was like, hey, what is this about?
Yes.
So and when you read through it, 'cause, like I get compliments on mine. This is my actual book cover too. But people would say,
I
shut
love
up and
it.
grind. They're like, that's a great name.
It
So
is.
the name is catchy. So how did you come up with it?
It came to me, honestly. That's why I think that the book was divinely inspired, the name was divinely inspired. And when it came, I was like, oh my goodness, can I say that? Like, I don't know if I can say that. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, but you know what? Everybody remembers the name. It's a very polarizing name. And it's like people are either going to love it or hate it. And no
Yeah.
matter where I'm at in the world, when I tell people what the name of the book is, they're like, I want to read that. It doesn't matter how old they are, what gender they are, they're like, I want to read that book. Or they're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I wish you had written this, 4 years ago. My mother really needed this book. So it's really
Mm.
amazing how much of an impact the name of the book has on people. And I mean, it is pure gold. So I'm like, either this is going to be a major success or it's not. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see how well people receive it.
See, the good thing is that there's like almost 9 billion people in the world. So it's like you don't have to please
Yeah.
everyone. You don't have to please everyone. Like there was a guy who pitched to be on the show, and they wanted to do like a pre-call first, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't meet with the guests ahead of time, and they're like, oh well, so and so requires. I was like, you can require what you want to. I'm like, this is my
Exactly.
show, and I like to interview the guests in real time. I
Right.
said, so I'm like, if you can't do that, then just hit pass. It's like that's how it is.
Exactly. And it's like I tried so hard for so much of my life to be normal. I tried so hard,
Mm.
and I'm not normal. Like, I am not normal at all. Even though I tried really hard to be normal, and there was a point in my life I just had to accept that. And I'm just gonna kind of go with my intuition, go with what I feel is right, and kind of roll with it. And I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. My family considers me a failure on so many levels, and I'm like, I don't consider myself a failure. I did things that I was called to do, and I learned from those things, and I had a really good career that I loved doing. And, I did Thai massage and cupping and Fijian and shiatsu. And I was trained in all these different modalities, and my family never respected that at all.
Mm.
My mother thought I did hand jobs for a living,
Oh, geez.
seriously. And I was like, Mom, I was like, if I was doing that, I would be driving a Benz instead of a Corolla. Okay. That's how you can tell the difference.
Love it. That's
I know.
hysterical.
So it's like, you can't decide your life by what other people want you to do, because you will
Bingo.
be miserable. I tried that for so long, and I can remember living in Dallas and just being miserable with where I was at. And so I wanted to live my life, and now I am, and even my days that are not, good days or great days, it's still better than where I was at. I am living my life, I'm doing what I want, and if people don't like it, that's their problem. That's how I look at it,
Absolutely.
you
See,
know?
and this goes back to society trying to stuff people into a box. Like I
Yes.
spoke at a career day. This was a few years ago, and I asked the students. I was like, "All right, what's the life cycle of a human being?" And they're like, you go to school, you go to college, you go to work, you retire, and then you die. And somewhere in there, you start a family. Right? You retire, then you die. And these are like 11 and 12-year-olds. Like that's
Mhm.
already programmed into their heads. And it's like I just spoke
Yeah.
back in September at
Yes.
at another career day, and I told the kids, I went through each one. I was like, "What do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to be?" I said, "Now, how can you leverage that?" And they didn't really know what that meant. So, for example, one of the young girls said she wanted to be a physical therapist, and I said, "Okay,
Hmm.
so can you get financial independence being a physical therapist?" And she's like, I'm not sure. I'm like,
Yeah.
unless you own two or three, the answer is no.
No.
Okay. I said, but now you guys live in the best time ever because we have the internet and we have cameras and we have YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn. I said, so now while you're doing massage therapy, you can create courses that you can sell online. So you can go in the field that you want and have, uh, you know, 6, 7 streams of income online. And like the
Hmm.
kids aren't being told this stuff because they're being groomed in school for the workforce. And so that's why we need platforms like this to
Hmm.
get the word out there, to let people know you don't have to stay stuck in that box. It's like you can break free. Like there's a whole new world out there. To your point about living your life and doing the things you want to do.
Absolutely. And I think the way traditional schooling is set up is such a disservice to the children, because it was not ever meant to make us individual thinkers or creative people. It was meant to make us workers. And that is how the
Hmm.
whole American system is set up. And so I think it's really amazing when people take their kids out and homeschool them, or they world school them. They literally will travel around the world with their kids. And so it's
Yeah.
like when people tell me, oh yeah, well, you can travel because you're single and you don't have kids and you don't have that, and I'm like, you can still do it. There is a way. Like, if you go back to Tim Ferriss's The 4 Hour Work Week, he talks about it in that
Oh
book, and
yeah.
that book is a classic now. It's been out a long time, so it's like people tend to kind of box themselves into their way of thinking and be like, oh, well, I can't do that because, instead of, how
Yes.
can I do this? If you start asking different questions, you're going to get different answers. Instead of, I can't do that, how can I do this? I want to do this. What would my life
Yes.
look like if, and it's going to turn out differently than you think, but it might turn out better than you think, better than you ever could have planned. Like, as adults, we need dreams, we need desires, we need to have that childlike fascination and inspiration that we had. Like
Yes.
kids are like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be president. Now it's like, I want to be a TikToker, whatever. But it's like, they don't realize that they can't do it unless somebody tells them. And as adults, we tend to think we can't do that because of whatever reason. And it's not true. Like, you can reinvent your life at any age. You can do whatever you want. The only limitation you have is your imagination. And you just have to kind of like decide that you're going to do it. And it might take you in a different path. You might decide, oh, that's really not my goal anymore. Maybe I want to go and do this. But let yourself dream, let yourself have those visions and that inspiration and be like, hell yeah, I can do this. Instead of just saying, oh, well, I can't do it. Dream.
Exactly.
That's what, yeah, absolutely. And you have to have hope, and you have to know that, like, your life isn't over. Your life is not over until you stop breathing. And a lot
Yeah.
of people did not reinvent themselves until they were like 50. Martha Stewart, Julia Child, Vera Wang didn't start doing wedding dresses until she was in her 40s.
Yep.
It's like, life isn't over. You're just getting good now. It's just like a good bottle of wine. The more it ages, the better it gets.
Yes. I
Right?
think I think it was Les Brown who said this, where he was like, most people die at 40. They just wait until they're 80 to get buried. I was like,
Exactly.
that's such a powerful statement, and it's true. Like, I found myself in that box in my 20s when I was managing restaurants, working
Mm-hmm.
bajillion hours a week, and just thinking like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do to stay ahead. And now that was before the internet and before YouTube and all that stuff. Now, like, people think it costs thousands upon thousands of dollars to build an app and it's going to take 3 months. There's a site
Yeah.
called lovable.dev that can build you an app in about 8 minutes.
Nice.
And
Nice.
it's only $29 a month. It's like, I created two. Like, I haven't
Oh,
got them
nice.
out into the marketplace yet, but I created two. One to help people take their past pain, past trauma, PTSD. You
Okay,
answer a
nice.
series of questions, and then it turns it into an inspirational story. And so
I
it
love
takes from the
that.
pace of pain into a place of inspiration. But like, it was literally a matter of minutes. It's like, no one should be struggling in today's
Yeah,
age. No
yeah,
one.
no,
Like, if you have an internet connection and you can teach somebody something, you can make it.
exactly. And with AI now, everything's just going to start accelerating even faster.
That's
Like,
true
the
too.
technology is going to start changing even faster. So I made a commitment to myself this year to start learning AI. And
Oh
technology,
yeah.
because technology has always been my Achilles heel. Like, I have never been good at technology. And I'm like, I'm
Mm.
going to do this. Like, I am going to understand it. I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to use it. Because I actually have a bigger dream than just my book. I want
Yeah.
to create co living spaces around the world for women to travel, like women in their midlife to travel, to feel divinely inspired, to be able to relax. And we can also teach and coach each other and lift each other up, creating these spaces for women to feel safe. Because so many women I talk to are like, oh, I don't feel safe traveling by myself. Oh, that's really scary. And so many people have called me brave for traveling by myself. And it's like, I don't think I'm brave. I just knew that if
Mm.
I waited for other people, I would be waiting my whole damn life.
Yeah.
When I was turning 45, I found an old journal that was like, I want to go to Italy, Egypt, and Greece. Those were my three big ones. And I was like, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And so I started traveling internationally when I was 45, and now I live internationally, and I've been living internationally now for almost 5 years.
Awesome.
So
See
yeah, he's like,
what
you can
see
change
what
your
people
life.
don't go ahead.
You can
Yeah,
change your life.
yes. And what people don't realize is all we have is today. Like, all we have
Yes.
is today.
Yes.
And then people pull stress from later in the week. Like, today is Monday, and they're stressing about stuff they have to do on Friday. I'm like, you're worried about, enjoy today. Like, make today
Exactly.
the best it can possibly be. Wake up tomorrow and repeat. Because people, oh, because like, now I'm tapering down now, but because remember I said earlier, I hit that rock bottom,
Yeah.
and I've been working like a dog for the last 2.5 years to build something that cannot be shut down. And
Exactly.
and people are like, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna you're gonna, give yourself a heart attack. It's like you're working way too much. I said, don't put your limitation on me. I was like, just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't. I said, I'm doing what's necessary. Like, I hit that dark place, and I don't ever want to get there again, ever.
Exactly. And we all create things differently, and we all create success differently. And men, I mean, men are very masculine. You have that yang energy. So it is that let's go, let's grind, let's do it, let's
Yeah,
hustle. And I'm a woman, and I'm like, I have done the grind a whole lot during my life. Now it's like, yes, it still takes action, because it still takes action. Like, one of the biggest misconceptions I think there is in the manifestation space is like, oh, if you just meditate and you just change your energy, it's just going to magically
yeah,
happen. Okay, that's bull. Like, because trust me,
yeah.
if that were actually true, I'd be a billionaire by now. Trust me on that. I can
Thanks.
sit and meditate and do all the energetic work and do all the clearing. I can do all that. The thing that I was lacking was action. And so it's like, I really want to work from a place of being divinely inspired and divine feminine. I don't want to work 10, 12, 18 hours a day, but I do want to create something that's amazing and that can live on beyond me. I do want that. And
Yes.
I do want to really make an impact in the world. And I want to help people in a big way. That is truly what I want. Because otherwise, you're not really doing a whole lot with your life. If it's just all about you, I want it to be about supporting and helping other people and helping them grow. And then that magnifies, and then you're making this big impact in the world when it just starts with one tiny pebble. Like, you toss a pebble into the lake and it ripples out, and you have that ripple effect, and that's
Yes.
what I want. I want to create really good things in the world. And I think
See,
it's just a beautiful thing.
yeah, that's called impact. It's like that's what drives me too. Like, I want to leave things that can survive me, so that way, long after I'm gone, people can still get, whether it's my book, that side, whether it's the book, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the courses that I've created, the apps I've done. Like, it's not about me. It's about
Exactly.
making it bigger than me, and that's what people don't realize. Like, they think it's selfish to like do these things. I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
for, even if just one person hears this episode and it changes the trajectory of their life, then this time that we're spending is 100% worth it.
Exactly. Because you never know. You never know how you're going to impact somebody else. You never know how what you say is going to change that one little thing in their life. There's a movie called The Five People You Meet in Heaven,
Mm.
and it's such a great movie because it's like this guy was really resenting a lot of these things in his life. And when he died, he was actually shown that no, these happened for a reason. It wasn't to make you miserable. It wasn't to ruin your life. It was actually to change the trajectory and get you moving. And
Yes.
people miss that
Yeah.
sometimes. So yeah, and it's like we all hit hard times. I mean, I think this year has been brutal for so many people. you know,
Yeah.
I went into this year being like, yes, it's number nine. Nine's my number. This is going to be a great year. This is going to be amazing, and it has just been brutal. So, but I am so extremely happy to have my book on pre-sale, and to be ready to move to the next thing, to take the next step in my progression. And it's like I'm 53, and I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's do this, let's have some fun, let's change the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what keeps us feeling, that youthful exuberance, what we'll call it, because we are daydreaming, we are thinking about that next best thing. We're thinking about what's coming next, but enjoying the here and now. Like,
Exactly.
that's what people forget. Like I said, they're worried about future stuff that's not even here yet, and you're sucking the joy out of today. It's
Yes.
like, I know, if I, like I said, I have a knee surgery coming up, and so I was
Hmm.
doing a box jump at the gym earlier, and people were like, "Should you be?" They're like, "Should you be doing that?" And I was like, I'm not gonna stop living my life. I already need surgery. Right?
Right.
So I was like, I'm not gonna make it worse, knock on wood. I'm not gonna make it worse. So I'm gonna do the thing. I love playing basketball. I'm gonna play basketball. And everyone's like, should you be playing? Don't worry about me. Okay? Like, worry about you. I'm focused on me and the things that I enjoy. And that's gotten lost. Just be out and about. I mean, I know you're in another country, but just be out and about and just listen to people. There are so many people that are so unhappy.
Exactly. And they live in fear and doubt and confusion. And you know your body
Mm,
best. You're not going to
yep,
do anything that's really going to cause more harm to yourself. Like you will know if
exactly.
you should not be doing something. Like
Yep.
you'll have that intuitive moment being like, "Ooh, this probably isn't what I should be doing, but I can do this. Like this is going to make me
Yes.
feel good on many different levels." So, and people don't realize that, and everybody wants to judge everybody else and get in one else's business and be like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this." Just do what you want. You're old. You're old enough to know better. Like, come on. You're old enough to know better, but still young enough to do it. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. Exactly. That's too
And
funny. All right.
and I
Go.
do.
Go ahead.
It's. Oh, sorry, Hetty. I do think that the Gen Xers, I think we are a completely different generation because we were the ones that were the latchkey kids. We drank from hoses. We didn't even have cable until like a lot later, or even
Yeah.
cordless phones. So, we are completely different than any other generation that's come before us. We've seen so much change, and we're going to be seeing a lot more change. And we have the possibility of living not only to 100 but like 120, 150. So being 50 is like really nothing anymore. It's really just a starting place. So it's like go out there and live
Facts.
your life and enjoy it, create new desires, learn new things. Your life isn't over, it's just starting.
See, I love when people say you've changed, and
Good.
I
Thank
want to
God.
exactly. Like I want to fire back with you haven't. It's like,
Exactly. I
that's
know.
worse, right? That's
I
worse that you
know.
didn't evolve any. You know?
Exactly. I mean, I can look back on pictures of myself, like before I got sober. I was 90 pounds overweight. I've lost 90 pounds through Ayurvedic medicine. I've gotten sober. Travel the world now. I've written books. So it's like you can change, you can grow, you can do different things. There's no limit as to what you can do in this lifetime. You're the only one limiting yourself, buying into other people's limitations. Like go out and enjoy your
Exactly.
life, learn something new, like have some fun. As adults, I think we get way too serious and we're not having enough fun, and that creates its own problems. Like that's really when you start dying, is when you stop having fun.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. It's like
Yeah.
there are times to be serious. Like I would tell my kids, like to me, the definition of maturity is to have as much fun as possible, but know when to be serious.
Exactly. Exactly. Because then you're balancing everything. But have fun, enjoy yourself, like and learn new things. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And it's like I really hope people draw joy from my book. It was not written like it's not a Pulitzer Prize winner. It's not like some serious book. It is meant to empower, inspire, and to motivate. It's because I think people need to have some fun, and the title definitely does that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I don't know. Have we said the title yet? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna say it
Share
because
away.
yes, it is 50, fabulous, and fuckable. That is the title because let's face it, ladies, you are fuckable at every age, and it's not who you're sleeping with. It's about who you're being. It's about your mindset, about having the confidence, about being in love with yourself and giving to yourself. Because so many times, women are looking outside of themselves for somebody else to make them happy or to fulfill them. And when you start filling your own cup and making yourself happy, then you have more to give to other people. Don't wait for your partner or your boyfriend or your kids to make you happy. Make yourself happy, do the things that bring you joy, and then you're going to be able to give from that place rather than giving from a place of being depleted. And that's really what that means.
Well said. And you said it's in pre-sale right now?
It is. It's on Amazon. I finally got it listed. I had it on my own website, but now it's finally on Amazon pre-sale. And I hope you like the
Nice.
cover because I did do it with the help of ChatGPT.
That's great.
I know.
All right, so give us some final words. We got to bring this down, and then let people know how they can connect with you.
Okay, great. the main thing I want people to walk away with is that there's always hope. You can always change. 50 is just the beginning of your life. It is not the end. And trust me, if I can do all these things, anybody can. I am the least likely person in my family to succeed. Uh, they said that everything I've done has been a failure. I don't believe that. I think I have learned so much through my life that it adds on to who you are. One of the
Yes.
reasons we have different fonts on computers is because Steve Jobs took a calligraphy course. If he had never taken that calligraphy course, we wouldn't have the fonts we have on computers. And he did not know
Yeah.
in that moment why he was taking that course. He had no idea. He's just like, I like it. And he kept in touch with his teacher, and it completely changed the world. So you
Wow.
cannot decide, how things are going to happen, in your life, because things will change, things will move, things will grow, you'll go in different directions. It's not Success is not a linear path. It is going all over the place and going around in circles
Yes.
sometimes and falling down and getting back up. But when you look back on the trajectory of your life, then you can put the pieces together. Then you can see how things fit together. You can't do that in a moment. You can't do that until you've actually done things that are different, that scare you, that people call you crazy for. Because trust me, so many people have called me crazy for what I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to put it out there. I'm still going to find a way. I don't care what else has happened. This book is coming out, and I hope it brings joy to a lot of people. I hope it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. And if I can go through everything I have in my life, you can have an amazing life too. I guarantee it.
See, and that's
Oh,
that's the key. See, and
yes.
that's the key, right? That's why I started this, to get people who are in that headspace where they think, they're around our age and they're like, well, that ship has sailed. Well,
I know.
that time has passed me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, the average lifespan is like into like the late 80s into 90s now. It's like, and you're 50. It's like, you want to live the next 30 some odd years in this state, like
No.
that mind-boggling to me. It's like, you're literally one decision away. I tell people, you're
It
that close. You're just one decision away of changing everything.
Absolutely. And now is the time that you need to go and travel and to explore and to try new things, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not guaranteed good health, in your 70s or 80s. So go and travel and do the things now. Do not wait for retirement to go and travel. When I go to Europe, I see so many people like in walkers and wheelchairs and, canes trying to get around. Like, do that now while you still have good health. Just put it out there to the universe, talk to people, and you don't know who might help you, create that. But do not wait until you retire to start traveling or to live your life. Start living your life now, because you are not guaranteed tomorrow.
Love it. And that's a perfect note to end on right there.
Yay!
So thank you very much. Oh, wait. How can
Yeah.
people connect with you on
Yes,
social?
I'm on TikTok and Instagram, Transform Be Courageous. And I also have all my courses are on beacons.ai/transform be courageous. And it's attached to my socials as well. So I am getting all the socials and technology figured out. But you can find my book on Amazon. It is on pre-sale. I am going to have it listed very soon, so you could actually enjoy it for the holidays.
Awesome. Love it. Well, again, thank you very much for taking the time. And we will connect again soon. 'Cause
Great.
I do panels where
Okay.
I bring back up to six of my former guests, and we pick
Ooh.
one topic, and we all speak. Right, we all speak on a one topic, because one takeaway I want people to understand is that there's not only one way to do things. So, like, I
Yeah.
bring on, like, so there's seven of us. We give seven different opinions, different takes on the same topic. So, like, those shows are awesome. So, if you're interested in that, I'll definitely keep
Uh-huh.
you in mind for a future one.
Absolutely. I would love that. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that offer. Yeah, of course.
All right, my pleasure, and it was great to meet you.
You too. Thanks so much.
All right, take care. All right, so that was Tina. So if you're tuned in late, make sure you go back and watch the whole thing. There were a couple glitches in there, but we got through it. That's just what happens when you live stream. You take the punches like a big boy and you move forward. So now we are going to be Monday through Friday from now on, because I had such a backlog of guests that I was just doing Tuesday and Thursday. We were booking into July of next year. So I opened up 2 more days. So we're doing Monday and Wednesday and Friday. And Monday is booking into June now. Fridays, I have a lot of earlier spots because I guess Friday must not be a popular day to do it. But so if anyone wants to get on the show, you have a story to tell. I typically don't deny people because everybody has a story to tell. And if it's dull, I'll jazz it up for you. Don't worry about that. So again, that'll be Monday through Friday this week, 12 p.m. Eastern. All right. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day.
You've been listening to Shut Up and Grind. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. Robert has over 20 years experience pouring his knowledge and expertise at many events in the service and fitness industry, as well as secondary schools and universities. He has a true passion for helping others break through the barriers that are holding them back. To book Robert B. Foster to speak or to reach out, go to robertbfoster.com. Till next time, shut up and grind.